Hello, everyone. Uh, Talk a little bit more here about aliens, and the question I'm going to try to answer now is do large alien civilizations exist? My research indicates that they do not exist. Um, yes, we have aliens that are visiting uh, this planet and have been visiting this planet for hundreds of thousands of years. Um, Earliest writings of our civilizations uh, indicate that yes, they have been visited by aliens, and there's a lot of evidence to support that. But do large alien civilizations exist? My research indicates that they do not exist, and there's pretty good reason uh, that they do not exist. I suppose probably the first reason is that they have not taken over the planet. If they had huge numbers of people in their civilization, then they would have, as long as Earth was a habitable planet for them, they would have already taken over the planet and would have already moved here and perhaps exterminated us, or perhaps not. Probably not. Um, Super intelligent beings become, as their civilization progresses, they become less aggressive, more docile. Um, so they probably would not have exterminated us. They probably would just be living amongst us, maybe taking over half the planet for their use and built their own cities, etc., etc. Um, Another reason that uh, massive alien civilizations do not exist is based upon what's happening with our civilization. Um, if you take a look at Earth's population uh, and do some research, you'll find out that our population currently is approximately 6 million, maybe a little more than that, maybe up around 7 billion, not million, 7 billion people on the planet. But the growth rate of population is right now pretty darn low. Overall, over the entire planet, the growth rate is about 0.6%. What that means is that for every uh, 200 people that are born, there's 199 that die. So the growth rate of the population is very low. As a matter of fact, the growth rate in the industrialized countries has already started going downhill. The uh, growth rate of population in Japan is going downhill. It's negative, in a negative number now. It's going downhill maybe at about 1% per year. China is the same way. Its population is headed downward. And the only places in the world where the population is still growing is in the less industrialized areas. Most of the industrialized populations or countries in the world, their population growth has already topped out and actually is probably going downhill. I would expect within the next 100 years or so, our population of the planet would be about half what it is now, and it would continue to go downhill. Now, the reason why that occurs is very simple. Uh, in the early stages of a civilization, of a species, um, when you're first starting to learn to read and write and do things, you you don't have not developed any machines, any labor saving device machines like tractors, garden tractors, riding lawnmowers, rototillers, um, farm equipment. So you need a lot of labor to cultivate crops uh, and grow things because you got to do all that work by hand. And so you need to have a lot of children, a lot of offspring in order to have a labor force to do that. But as your population um, grows and you develop more technology, industry, labor saving devices, and computers, then you become less dependent on physical labor. And so you really don't need children to have children the way we once did in this country. 100 years ago, and even like I'm 78 right now, even my grandfathers, both of them had, I think one of them had like 12 children and the other one had like 20 some children. They needed those children because uh, tractors, garden tractors, even though they were existent, they were not readily available to farmers, especially small farmers, and also people with a small plot of land. They raised gardens and they needed that labor, so they needed children. Nowadays, children in our society, especially in the industrialized world, are an expense. They, other than the fact that you're continuing your genetics, um, and there is a desire to have children, they, they're really not needed uh, because of all the labor saving devices we have, riding lawnmowers, uh, et cetera, et cetera. There's no really physical labor that needs to be done, like chopping wood or cleaning off land and growing crops and all this sort of stuff. So the alien civilizations would probably, most likely, have developed the same way our civilization is developing, and their population would also have developed the way ours is developing, and that is that we had tremendous growth, say 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 40 years ago. But nowadays, the population growth is really slowing down, approaching zero. And like I said, in another 50 years or 100 years, uh, it's going to be probably half what it is, and it's going to continue to go downhill. So, the answer to the question, are there massive alien civilizations out there? Probably not. There's alien civilizations out there. We know that for a fact, but probably not massive alien civilizations. So I don't think we really have to worry about being invaded by aliens. There's just not the number of massive alien populations that there need to be to take over a planet. Um, their populations probably are fairly small uh, compared to ours. So movies like Independence Day were a massive horde of aliens in huge spacecraft, and millions of them uh, came to invade and take all the resources from the planet. Um, Although Independence Day was a great movie and it was tremendous in independence, uh, tremendous entertainment, uh, it's probably just not going to happen. Like I said, if it was going to happen, it would have probably happened already, because they've been coming to this planet, we know, for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So I don't think we're in any danger of being taken over by alien civilization. The alien threat is exaggerated. And I think it's probably being used by the governments to put some fear into their populations. Um, but I don't think there is a massive alien threat out there. Uh, Although that we know that there are definitely aliens visiting us, um, there's just not an abundance of them to take over the planet, and I don't think they have any desire to do that. I think they're probably here only to try to reclaim some of their early uh, physical and mental attributes, probably to improve their genetics and maybe to mine some scarce resources. Anyway, I'm going to be posting more on aliens and things of this nature. So please subscribe, and when I post more videos, you'll be notified. But anyway, thanks a lot, and you folks have a nice day. And once again, please subscribe. Thanks.